I watched a chick flick the other day, and it was 13 Going on 30 with Anne Hathaway. That is one of my favorite movies by far, honestly. And what I got out of it was basically 13-year-olds or just teenagers in general, they want to be older. They want to be perceived as older. You know, they want to have the woman body, the feminine looks, and the responsibility of being a woman. They want to be able to make decisions as a woman, right? That's what 13 Going on 30 basically was. That she wants the career, she wants the abundance of being a woman, right? But I feel like that was definitely more of that time. It was more of a 90s time. Whereas now, in 2024, I feel like it's the 30-year-olds that are going on 13. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, the 13-year-olds already look like they're 30 at this point. Like, it's already started the compound effect, you know? So I feel like nowadays it's flipped. I feel like nowadays it's flipped. Nowadays it's the 30-year-olds or the older women trying to look 13. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, because that is, we are not 13 going on 30 anymore. We are, but it's natural. It's not like we're trying anymore. I feel like these kids are genetically modified. Like, they're freaking already growing up into like their woman bodies by 13 years old. You know, like back in the day, the 13-year-olds still looked 13. They just wanted to be 30. But now it's like the kids are naturally already growing into their women bodies, so they look older than they are. And the older women see that and they're like, why am I competing against 13-year-olds? You know what I'm saying? Or 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds, even the 20-year-olds look like 30, 40-year-old women. You know, there's 20-year-olds with Botox, 20-year-olds with lip injections, and they're looking older. So the 30-year-olds that are already in their womanhood, already got something going on for themselves, are going on 13. They are backtracing back to that youth, back to that, you know, immaturity part of a woman. Like, I really believe that's where we're at. We're not at 13 going on 30 anymore. We're at 30 going on 13. Like, that's where we're at. We're almost like so ashamed to grow up as women. Like, why are we like this? Why are we like this, meow meows? I want to feel wise when I get older. This is why I created that video yesterday, because I don't want to just feel like I'm getting older as a woman. I want to feel like I'm giving something back to my community, giving something back to the generations, and not just trying to be 13 again. You know, like, I'm in my 20s, okay? So I can still have that immaturity, like naiveness to myself. I don't have to feel like I gotta have it going on, you know? But a 30-year-old woman, you know, is on that spectrum of knowing what she has. And it's getting to the point where older women are acting delusional on purpose because they're competing with already delusional 13 to 20-year-old women that naturally look 30 years old. I mean, it sounds like a bunch of, like, it's true, okay? I believe it's true. And watching the movie and how fast these girls grew up, and quite honestly, I see it with my own eyes, how fast these little girls grow up. Like, why wouldn't you want a childhood? It's the most priceless thing. But it's just crazy how it's flipped from the 90s, because everything was compounded. Everything was compounded. All the girls in the 90s, even the 80s, whatever, like, this is from what I know. The girls from the 90s, the little girls, wanted to grow up faster. Now they're grown up. Now they're 30, 40 years old, and they're looking at the younger girls like, damn, like, they looked like what I wanted to look like when I was 13. Are you plugging it in? Because now they're going to start acting 13. That's just my prediction. And I feel like as women, we just need to understand our youth comes from our imagination and our vulnerability. Being vulnerable as a woman. If you really have to act like you have everything figured out as a woman, You're always going to be challenged by these younger girls because they're delusional. They're actually delusional. They're actually delusional. As a 30-year-old woman, you're not going to be fully delusional, but there's no reason to act delusional. There's no reason. There's no reason to act like you're 13. You know what I'm saying? A 13-year-old doesn't have to act 30 because quite honestly, she's not, but she's going to look 30. There's no reason to see that as competition. She don't know as much as you do. That's the thing. Women, we're so surface level. Like, we understand things are deeper than what they really are, but it's like, if you're 30 years old, you've already acquired so many skills, you've acquired knowledge, you've acquired wisdom as a woman. And that's what we need to value. We need to value what we've learned as a woman and focus on giving back to the generation instead of looking at the surface level of beauty, looking at the surface level of what every woman looks like. Like, stop. It's about what you know. It's not just about looks, man. Every person looks different. There is no perfect person. It's a projection of, just like how it's the eyes of the beholder. Beauty is the eyes of the beholder. Not everyone's gonna like you, so what are you tripping about? You know, as a woman, you should stop tripping about the surface level stuff. Because once you're at 30, 40 years old, you've already acquired so much knowledge that that's your value. You know, your value is not just your beauty. Your beauty is a plus. Your beauty should always be a plus. Should never be the foundation of your womanhood. You know, it should never be the foundation. It should always be what you know and what you can bring, what you can teach, what you can teach as a woman. And you can't teach beauty. You can't teach beauty. All you need is some injection. Boom. All you need is some money. Like, if you put your value into beauty as a woman, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be happy. And you're always going to be comparing yourself to every 13-year-old. You know, that's terrible. It's terrible to even say it like that because 13-year-olds are children. They're children. They are children. These little girls are acting older than they are, and it's messing with all the older women's brains, and they can't take it anymore. They're acting out. They are getting jealous. They're getting possessive of their husbands, even possessive of their kids. Like, they can't fathom what they even know. They can't fathom it because they put all their value in the surface level of everything. That's what that's my prediction. And that's just from watching a chick flick. That's just from watching 13 going on 30. I was like, yo, why do 13-year-olds really want to be older? Because at this point, I really feel like it's the older people that want to be younger. And it's not like they look younger either. You know, you can get the Botox and lip injections and you can tell yourself you look younger, you know. But you can't sit there and act younger. You can't act delusional. You can't act like a child if you're 30, yo. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Especially if you have a family and kids and all. That's just a mess waiting to happen. And look around, look around. Women are insecure. Women are jealous. And that's just where we're at. I wanted to talk about that today because I feel like it was something to talk about. I'm always thinking about new ideas and plugging connections, especially with movies. I feel like movies are a great way to express a story or history of some sort. Like, you can plug things in through movies. And, you know, not everything in a movie is obviously true, but I feel like there's correlations to movies in real life. You know, you have to just plug it in, put yourself in that position and see what you do, you know? But yeah, I want to talk about that today because it's a truth. I believe it's a truth. And we should all be very aware of getting older. We should all be very aware of the new generations. Be aware, and don't be delusional. Straight up. Read a book, have some knowledge, and go teach it. You know, that's the beauty of life. You gain knowledge and you pass on knowledge. I believe that is the purpose. That is the purpose of life. If there is no other purpose, God, tell me now. Like, that's truly what I believe. But that's it today. That is all I want to talk about. 13 going on 30, when it's actually 30 going on 13. Just moved into my apartment, so got a lot to do. I have not brushed my hair in like 4 days. I need a shower. Haven't done my skincare, so if you are looking at my pores, they're looking at you too. And yeah, I'm going to get my crap together tonight and tomorrow and probably the next day. Probably the rest of the week I will be getting my crap together. But I know it's a late upload, but I will be uploading earlier. For the rest, as soon as I'm settled in, I will be posting on a regular, okay? But today, I had a lot on my plate. This is a full course meal, okay? And now that I'm settled in, I have some hydration, I have some food in my body. I'm able to make a video and talk with conviction and say what I mean. And ladies, if you are 30 years old, there is no need to act like you're 13. There's no need. There is no need to act like you're 13, because you have the wisdom now to pass on to the 13-year-olds so that they don't feel insecure. So you don't feel insecure. So everyone in the world can be confident in themselves. What's so bad about that? Why can't we do that? Why is that not the goal? You know, at the end of the day, we all die. So we might as well hold hands. You know, but whatever. That's it today. I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully it will be a way better setup.